We are back live on the show. Thank you very much for staying with us here throughout the technical difficulties. The Cisco will be working on Zeph's machine to upgrade it to 21st century standards and bring it through to the 24th and 25th centuries. Anyway, back on here to our little Breen presence. In short, that thing's a tug. It's decent for a free ship. Don't expect big numbers out of it. Especially with the oddball seating, it does feel a little bit hairy for expert builders, especially if you're coming from PC to console and you're used to seeing this ship. You know what to expect, and please pass the word on it. It's good for people who don't have a tier 6, but this will be your sort of like, here's your first car. Go have fun with it. Learn how to drive, and then when you really want something nice and performs well, and you can get it, go get these over here. Anything else we need to say about these ships real quick before we move on?
You should get them whether or not you actually like the ships for the Admiralty cards.
Very least the Admiralty card, maybe the trait, just to collect it, or just in case you find this little oddball build that you might like. But at least the Admiralty card, because then that'll help you get the lithium, get dilithium, get more dilithium, maybe a spec point every once in a while, and then dilithium.
The other thing to remember is that you don't need to grind out the ship on all of your characters. You only have to do it on one, and then once you get it on the one, it's available on all of your characters. Just a little reminder on that one.
That's a perfect reminder. Thank you very much. Now, something that everybody's been kind of like chomping at the bit about, and we've been saying on the show for how long now? Really? Almost 2 years off of this? The Phoenix Prize Pack. If you ever miss something from any of these special crystalline events, for example, or you miss one of those summer events and you couldn't get that ship, or you went around when the Rising Corvette was a thing, and yes, people wanted to sit back, relax, and RP in that thing. SOB, please tell us what we should expect from this Phoenix pack.
Well, we're getting a lovely little gambling box in the dill store. It's very cheap. You can get a 10-pack for like 40k dill. Every pack gives you a little random rarity voucher. And the higher the rarity, the better items you can get. I think, what is it? There's 4 or 5 tiers. The really good, the tier 6 ships, the event ones are the highest rarity. So I imagine those are going to have a drop rate comparable to your normal lock boxes. So you're probably going to be looking at about 1 in 200. Then we have the ultra rare quality, which I imagine is probably going to be around 1 in 100. And that's most of your T5s. But really interestingly is just they have the attack ship and the bulwark in at this tier, which surprised myself. I know it surprised a few others because those were promotion pack ships. And they are very expensive. The bulwark has sold for multiple billions of EC. I think I've seen people trying to sell them for 2 billion. It's just crazy expensive.
2 billion?
Yeah, the bulwark was only released once. Only once. And it was really popular back in the day because it had the third piece of that set, which gave those ships a battle cloak. Can't remember the name of the species now.
Voth.
The Voth, yeah. You got the Voth battle cloak on there.
But another nice thing here is the attack ship. This is going to help all those people that have been wanting to get the attack ship pets but could not afford a ship that is currently selling for over 1 billion EC. Then you have all of your old T5 event ships at that tier. Then at the very rare tier, which I imagine is going to be pretty common, you start to get into your crystalline and mere type event rewards. The items specifically, like the shotgun, the AP torp, a lot of really nice things.
Yeah, they have the red matter capacitor in there,
Yeah.
which is also pretty rare. You had to buy it off of a very specific pre-launch pack, if I remember correctly.
The collector's edition of the game, which I remember when I got mine a few years ago, it was like $12, but shortly after they started going and selling for like over 100. The red matter is not as useful nowadays because of the crafted batteries, but it's still something that's good for like working on a newer character, or just having, if you're dealing with power issues and you don't have the Iconian set for the power resistant stuff.
Yeah, so there are little items sprinkled here and there in the different rarities that are extremely rare. Hard to get, so to speak.
Yeah.
What is missing from this list, though?
There's a few things missing from this list. The rare category has 2 of the 3 event doffs. The third doff I asked about on Reddit, and Borticus said he'd look into it, is the Emergency Con hologram, which is the most useful doff out of the entire bunch, because the Emergency Con hologram resets your evasive maneuvers cooldown when you hit emergency powered engines, which is just stupidly powerful.
Especially in PvP before it became overpowered with invincibilities and one-shots. Hey, look, you disabled the person. They hit emergency powered engines. Now they have evasive maneuvers. Now they're all over the map and you can't touch them. Good game.
But isn't there like a doff that you could buy from the summer event that does the same thing, or am I just misremembering?
The one from the summer event gives you power with emergency or with the basic maneuvers.
Okay, all right.
Mm-hmm. Yes. This was a very, very, very much sought after doff. Wasn't it a point in time where you could actually sell this sucker before it was bound to you?
No, that was the Mariah Kalara Mar doff.
The Kalara Mar. That's it. That's the Gravo one, wasn't it? Or
Tychon's Rift. Yeah, it wasn't
Tychon's Rift, yes.
anything really special because it's a doff we already had multiple versions of. So that one being sellable didn't really have much of an impact.
And it really didn't work. I remember it stopped working for a while. Or if it was working, its proc rate was like stupidly low.
Yeah.
But one of the other big things with this is that you can down convert your little voucher thing here. So if you get an epic, you can convert that to 2 ultra rares, then that to 4 very rares, and so on. And if you want, you can convert 10 uncommons into another pack, which I don't think is really worth it, because I said that there's going to be a variety of other rewards you can get, like a special upgrade kit with those uncommon vouchers. But I'm really curious to see the drop rates on everything, because I think I'll be gambling a lot here.
You're always gambling a lot, and I you know what? I think the drop rates are probably going to be a little bit rarer than you're thinking.
I imagine so, because if you look at the dill cost for each of these, and then convert that over to Zen, each of these packs is about 10 or 11 cents.
Yeah, you get a pack of 10 for 40k dilithium. So, hope you've been saving up 5 days worth of dilithium, folks. That's 110 pack right there. But if you log in between December 1st to December 8th, you get 1 for free. 1 each day for free.
In fact, you know what? I'm willing to bet that the epic quality drop is probably going to be somewhere along the lines of 1 in 1,000.
Wow, you think that low?
That would be painful.
That would be horrible. But it would crash the dill market. No, it wouldn't crash it, but it would put a tiny dent in it.
I mean, come on, let's think about it. They've like, how long have they been obstinate about this whole exclusivity thing, and finally they're just gonna give in and give everyone all this stuff.
Well,
for free.
these
Go ahead.
these are character unlocks. They don't go and but they're not account wide. So you'd have to get all of these ships on each of your character you need them on.
Are the vouchers character bound?
Though the vouchers are account bound.
Yeah, okay. Big difference then. Meh. I foresee this being pretty rare. Although, with people like Spencer in the game, we're going to start seeing quite a lot of these really rare items start floating around, especially some of these ships like the Bulwark, for example. Although I'm betting some people will kind of hold on to them.
You can't sell them. All of this stuff it's bound to you.
Yep. There's no market for this unless somehow there's some accident in the coding. And hey, look, you see a whole bunch of these sitting in the exchange for like 750 mil.
Interesting.
Indeed. Well, here's to me getting that stupid evasive maneuvers doff that I've been finally wanting for ages, and I missed it. I don't know. Which one of your tunes is actually going to relish in this one here, SOB?
Well, my KDF that I've been investing heavily in recently is going to enjoy the emergency con hologram because it doesn't have that.
Now, is that same KDF that has the D7?
Yes.
Oh, please tell us about this D7. Please do.
Well, the D7 is... it's really good that KDF finally got a really good ship. And what's crazy is, for a long time, the Scimitar has been regarded as the best ship in the game. And we knew it would take a lot to beat the Scimitar. And it's crazy that you need everything that the D7 has to finally beat the power creep of the Scimitar. I think it's good that the KDF have the best DPS ship in the game right now. I think it's finally giving something to the KDF, a reason to play them. I think the only bad thing about it is the cost of the D7. There's people that I've seen trying to trade 250 to 300 keys in trade channels, and they're not getting people selling them. It is really a rare and expensive ship, but it's got so much power creep on it. Recursive sharing 3 and override subsystem safeties 3.
On top of that, with a destroyer package.
Is that a lockbox ship?
Promotion pack.
Oh, all right. We'll just wait for next year and the next Phoenix pack.
No, they haven't.
No.
This Phoenix pack doesn't have the Anorax or
The
P6
Shashar.
pack ship. Yeah, it's not going to have this.
Yeah, well, next
No.
year. That's why I said next year.
Oh, I get you. That they'll actually say, okay, next time we're actually going to throw one of these things here. But no, this is going to be a moneymaker. I would not see them handing over a money-making type of ship out to something like this they could just get for like a paltry amount of dill, relatively speaking. I mean, how much money people throw down just to get them hands on an Anorax or a Shashar or one of the strike ships. That was stupid amounts of money. I don't think they're just going to hand it out like this that easily. I could be wrong. I could very well be wrong. And you know what? Part of me hopes I am. But that's way too much money over there that they could be making.
We'll see.
Well, here's something else that I'm actually glad to see. The patch notes are extremely healthy and very well detailed with the things that they are fixing and addressing, as well as telling people this little tidbit of information right here at the very bottom. For those who are looking to buy the 2016 vouchers, they're not available in the Lobby store. They are available to purchase with Lobby in the Winter Event store in the Events tab. That's your public service announcement. Thank you very much for the detailed patch notes. Whoever wrote these, whoever compiled them, whoever was on the ball with this, Good job. Keep it up.
Yeah. Actually, yeah, I'm just looking at the patch notes, and this is quite surprising.
Like line by line. Here's a problem. Resolve this. Done. Here's a problem. Resolve this. Done. Even if 90% of it was all Space Barbie stuff, good job in lining it up and spelling it out, except for like one or maybe two things here. But you know what? I get it. 4 o'clock in the morning, you're getting all this stuff done. So you still did a damn good job on this. Kudos.
I want to highlight some of the big things in this patch.
Please do.
Please do.
I'm going to skip right down to the powers section. Resolved an issue that was causing, basically, I'm just going to sum this up. Before this patch, there was 2 categories of weapon power drain resistance. Both categories are being combined, and everything that deals with that is going to just be minus weapon power cost. So Marion is going to get a noticeable text change. And a few other things are going to get a bit of a noticeable improvement, like some of the engineering, or that engineering captain ability that deals with this stuff. I think that's getting an improvement here. And a few other things. But another big thing to this is that the Omega 2-piece that people run, the cutting beam and the assimilated module, it was proccing too much, and after this patch, its proc rate has been reduced, which I think that's great. The cutting beam and assimilated module 2-piece was a good starter set, but there were people abusing it at the high end, and it really was doing too much. So I'm just glad to see that fixed.
In general, I'm guessing either you or other people have done a bit of testing with this. And in general, do you see this as a nerf or a buff?
It's a buff for some things, a slight nerf to others. Like, I think the fleet Thoron infused cores and the plasma integrated ones, I think those saw a little bit of a hit, if I was reading right on STO builds. But for most things, there shouldn't really be a difference.
Interesting.
My 2 favorite lines on these patch notes here. The first one, updated boarding party text to resolve a typo. This is me smiling. Yay! Boarding party still in the game. Awesome. Second one, resolved an issue that caused a neutronic torpedo to display as a plasma torpedo under torpedo transport warhead. So we have a couple other plasma torpedoes that are named that are still showing up as generic plasma, but at least you know neutronic's not misclassified as a plasma torpedo anymore. Nizam, update your video. Neutronic torpedo is not a plasma torpedo. Thank you. That is
Terrible.
all.
Another big thing here is the commando specializations, little cooldown reduction stuff is now going to affect the Boolean cannon and a few other ground weapons, which means if you are not a tactical captain, you are going to see your Boolean DPS increase with this patch. And one other really big thing here, the anti-time entanglement singularity, the T5 rep ability, is finally getting fixed. It hasn't been working with particle manipulator and a few other exotic buffs. Most have worked with it, but there were a few here and there that were just not working with it, which I like this change. I look forward to what this is going to do to CCA. We've already seen this ability do like 1 to 200k DPS in CCA, with it only having like a 20% crit rate. So now that it's finally going to have the proper crit rate, I look forward to seeing just how crazy it can go.
You will see the era of pure science ships and heavy science light torpedo ships ruling CCA forevermore until something big comes out. Like a huge buff to Torps.
Bless you.
Thank you. All in all, I think these are very, very, very well written patch notes. Addressed a lot of issues. Very well done job all the way around, from systems all the way through to documentation. So yeah, now let's see if we can get a couple other things fixed and then improve gameplay overall. What do you guys think? Yes, yes, yes. Let's do it. Oh, anything that we should probably keep an eye out for in the coming weeks or even 2 months, or something to prepare for, just based off of past trends. How about that? Because what have we seen after every single winter event going into the new year?
You should be stocking up on like some Zen for after the anniversary event, because they always like to release a mega bundle, it seems, right around the anniversary event. So have like 12,000 Zen stockpiled. Also, we should be ready for another promo pack here within the next few weeks.
Now, I want to know this. How much more power creep are energy weapons going to get in this game? Because, yeah. Seriously, how much more? You got the Nausicaan torpedo. You have haste out the wazoo. You have so many other different buffs around here. What else are they going to do? I mean, really, it's just... What's next? What's next, Spencer? Come on. Hook me up here. Give me some speculation.
I could see them deciding to, bring back the research lab consoles. I think that'd be great. Can you imagine that?
They can rebuff them.
Yeah, rebuff them, or release something else that does the same thing and say it's a revolutionary new thing like Apple does.
Oh, and have them buggy on launch, right? And it takes about a couple of days before everything gets fixed. Right?
Perhaps.
Yes.
We've never seen this happen twice. Never.
Or 3 times.
It's all fun and games.
Mm-hmm.
Or multiple times. But it's fun. It's fun. Okay, how about this? Let's go over here, switching gears real quick. The people have been asking of this a lot, whether on console or PC. Is there such a thing as a standard captain spec boilerplate, where they say for 99.99% of the population have a build with at least this minimum points invested in here? Go.
Well, depends who you ask, really.
All right, I'm asking all the people right now who are just making a generic, hey, I want to get into DPS and improve myself. I'm not sure exactly which way to go. I do a lot of content, but I'm going to go into a lot of various content, but I'm going to go into ISA and parse myself, but I'm also going to do a lot of story missions, and I'm also going to do a lot of different STFs like UAA and Corfez and maybe High Space Advanced. I'll creep into the elite later. What type of build would you recommend for them?
You mean like skill tree or
skill tree? Yeah, captain skill tree.
Okay.
Yes.
I actually talked about this recently on Reddit. We see a lot of people recommend the tactical ultimate, but it's been my experience that most people don't get to the level of performance where the tactical ultimate beats out the science ultimate. The science ultimate just generally does more for people. It has better buffs for slower runs. It's better survivability. Really high DPS potential out of it.
And you get more utility out of it. Well, not from the whole tree itself. The science tree, going towards the science ultimate, you get a lot more utility out of it. I just want to be really specific here to your question, Odin. If it's just general gameplay and you really don't care about the top end or pushing the numbers and stuff, then I think I would recommend you go and spread your points pretty evenly across the three trees. It doesn't really make that big of a difference. Having like 15, 15, 15, or however many points is in there, kind of spread it out. You really can't go wrong in that regards. But having said that, a lot of us who do understand the game, who understand the mechanics of the game, tend to put most of our points into science, to the point of having either 2 or I think Spencer even has 3 of the ultimate science ultimates, if I remember correctly.
Yes, on my characters with the SILT, yes. Go ahead with what you're saying.
It's just from our point of view, our gameplay, it's just generally better. The engineering ultimate is and still is pretty much garbage. I don't think they've buffed it up anytime soon.
Well, the issue with the engineering and tack is both are marked on targets, so most stuff in the game just doesn't last 15 seconds, so you get screwed out of most of the buff.
And the engineering one already is already so watered down to begin with that by the time it even does some sort of damage, it's paltry in comparison to even the tactical one.
So, just to be specific here, the tactical ultimate puts a debuff on a target. Now, even if you can't kill that target quickly, if it stays up for a while, it's still just a target. Is it not?
You're mixing it up there, actually. The tack ultimate is a damage buff, a firing cycle haste buff, and a small cooldown reduction for anyone
firing at the target. Okay.
Yeah, for firing at the target, and it goes away like 3 seconds after you stop shooting that target. The science ultimate is the one that has the debuff that can stay up for quite a while after it. So
yeah, well, the science ultimate, you're buffing yourself though.
Well, that debuff's also helping your team quite a bit. It's basically a free beta 3 on everything you're hitting that lasts 30 seconds. Or is it 20? It's 20 or 30, I don't remember.
Well, 30 if you have window up.
Yeah, it's
which is
kind
one
of the
three.
opposite. So you're buffing yourself and you're painting debuffs on your targets, which everyone can benefit from. Whereas the tactical, you are painting a target with a debuff that anyone that shoots that target also benefits from, but it's just that one target.
And to clarify this, the tactical ultimate will only buff energy weapons, whereas the science ultimate will work, the debuff one will work for any type of damage that goes to that target that is afflicted by it.
So
weapons, torpedoes, exotic, yada yada.
There's only a few situations where you would want to even look at the tack ultimate. If you're doing really high-end DPS runs, that's a good time to be looking at it. But the reality is there's not many people doing that. You're talking about a few dozen people in the game that are really doing that really high-end stuff.
And what's the number for the high end? We're talking like 350 and above?
When I'm looking at runs, when we're doing high-end hive runs, we can't take in anyone that's doing less than 150 to 200. If we get someone in there doing even 100, they've just killed the run for us. We have to have a full team of where everyone's ideally doing an average of at least 200k, or the run time is not where we need it to be. The other situations is, like, if you're using a really heavy, solely exotic build, you want generally to not use the science ultimate due to it locking your crit chance at 50%, because you can already be well above that 50% just through particle manipulator. So if you're doing like a heavy exotic build for CCA, I know Vel really likes the tack ultimate, and I've had a lot of success in there with the tack ult also. But outside of CCA, a balanced skill tree, like you were saying, Cam, works really well there. Or just you can keep running the tackle. You're just not going to get the most performance out of it elsewhere.
And I would, for those people who are used to the old skill tree, and if you're coming back into the game, the balance spec will, depending on which choices you make, will actually feel like the spec that you used to have under the old format, where you'll be able to pick, like, 9 in the EPS and all this other stuff beforehand, 9 into energy weapon specialization. You would actually feel a bit more balanced. So if you want to hop in an escort and do damage, and then hop into a cruiser and tank a little bit while doing damage, you want to easily have at least 3, if not 4, into amp without a leech. If you wanted to go through and say, yeah, I can go into any type of ship I want, and I'm not gonna like ultra specialize in it, but I will do well and enjoy it. The balance is good for you. You can do that. We could probably come up with 2 or 3 different balanced boilerplates out there, and I actually have one up on the STO builds somewhere out there. I'll dig it up and I'll put it in the show notes. Spencer, you also have one up on Reddit. We could also dig up on the show notes as well, as far as the one that's showing the Psi ultimate with points to spare.
I have builds with Tackled and Psi ult up on Reddit.
Okay. If you could, please drop the links into the show notes, and we will post it up the next day.
Will do.
Thank you very much.
But with the balanced skill tree, I also want to say is, while the ultimates are extremely powerful, you can still do well with the balanced. Florian at SF911, he runs a balanced skill tree from what I remember, and he's doing 250 plus in pug runs with phasers on a Psi Audi. So
yes,
that's pretty good.
I'd like to jump in here and say you could probably run with nothing in your skill tree and do pretty well.
But that speaks to piloting, a decent ship build, and good piloting. Sorry, I already said piloting. To being able to activate your abilities and knowing where to fly and how to fly, and your piloting, knowing how to build a ship decently, and then using the right power creep in place there with energy weapons in order to be able to do that. Yeah. You can do the same thing with torps. You can do the same thing with all exotics. You could do the same thing with like heavy projectiles and mines, so long as you're not running in a team that obliterates everything in 5 seconds. This game right now, you can do at the bare minimum 20k DPS running with mines and heavy torps on all of it Mark 12. Freaking ZEFilms here was using what, Mark 6 weapons and pulling 50, 60k at one point in time, and this was before you really got good.
Actually, that was with the Mark II or Mark III coalitions, and that was like 32k on a T5 Usavi.
My bad. Oh, and no consoles.
Yeah, and let's not
Yeah,
mention
completely wrong consoles.
Yeah, let's not mention Spencer with his whole Mark IV shtick that he did a while back.
Or,
Yeah.
or you got somebody who like Tankia who can do ISA in reverse and crack 100k.
Mind you, in reverse the entire time. He's got a video up on it somewhere. We'll find it. We'll dig it. We'll put it on the notes too. But he did that entire thing in reverse. That is just, I saw that. I was like, I'm done. This game is so broken. I'm done. And on that happy note, any closing remarks?
Buy my stuff off the exchange.
No. Wait, hold on. Yes, so you can buy more torpedoes from me. Please.
I need all this stuff to sell so I can buy more keys.
But you bought torpedoes off of me. Yeah, you did. You did.
I don't know about buying, but I have sold a few of these Kelvin torps. People are buying them left and right.
Oh yeah, they are. They're still buying them left and right.
Yeah. I mean, they perform very bad, but they look really good.
They perform okay if you actually build a decent torp boat around it, or you could strip shields. Then they perform okay. Yeah. Now, if the rest of all the salvo torpedoes and even the heavies can fly as fast as that torpedo, I'd shut up about it. But they don't. So, yeah. Cryptic, fix it. Thank you. Any closing remarks, Alan? You got the last word.
I got nothing.
But a new video coming out soon, right?
No.
Damn.
I know.
Come on, no Christmas present? Serious?
I'm doing the giveaway. It's
Well, tell us about the giveaway. Don't hold back on us.
just long overdue 1,000 subscriber thing. I hit 1,000 subs back in August, and I'm just getting around to doing something now. So I got a little raffle going on. Where,
Congrats, by the way.
Oh, thank you. Where you subscribe to the channel and then let me know what your favorite video that I did is your favorite. Wow, I can't words today. Let me know what your favorite video is that I've done, and make sure you leave your @ handle. And then, providing I think it was Firefox that was messing up my system, honestly, using up 3 gigs of RAM. But I'll be streaming Saturday evening from the Winter Wonderland, and we'll be playing winter games, and then I'll be doing the raffle during that time as well. And that's about it for that raffle thing.
And can people join you around the area in order to be able to, hang out with you?
Oh yeah,
You're a celebrity and all?
I'm not a celebrity, but I will. Yeah, come join me. I'll be on my character named ZEFilms, the one and only.
You are a STO celebrity. When Cryptic Studios commissions you to do some work, you're a celebrity now. Enjoy it. And this is all of us from the show saying good night. We'll see you out there. Get good, spam spacebar, and do not forget to fire those damn torpedoes when you drop the shields. Get good, Spencer. We'll see you out there.
Wow. What have
Bring
I done
back
to
the
deserve this
foundry.
hatred?
Whatever. Don't hate. Bring back the foundry. I've said enough.